No one will ever beat me in Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin.
I've always wanted to aim for the small center dot
Just to
on
the
the
top
large
left
circle
of the door, there's one that's 25,000 points.
Stick with this one
If
for
you
the
shoot
very
it,
first
target
one.
is how the magic is.
And then up here, you want to shoot at this claw.
These power-hungry robots are sure as
Shoot at the claw, Mom.
No one will ever beat my high score in Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin. That's a bold statement. It's a provocative statement, I know, for a title so coveted. And I'm not throwing this out as a challenge, by the way. I know a lot of you guys are already like booking plane tickets to go snap a pic with Mickey and try to beat my high score, but don't. For one, planes aren't doing that great in 2025, and I honestly can't really afford to lose any potential new viewers or subscribers, so you guys stay safe out there. And more importantly, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe. Also, once I explain a little bit more about the nature of my high score, I think you guys are going to want to try to find a different game to beat me at. You want an example? Okay. Like the Frisbee dog catch game in Wii Sports Resort. That game was highly frustrating to me. Step 1, get into Disney World. This was a lot easier like 10 years ago when most people could run like a middle-class family build and they'd be fine, especially if it was within driving distance, which for my family was like anything within 16 hours. Nowadays, I think you have to be wealthy to go. I'm not sure. I know it's gone up. I don't know how much. I'm gonna look it up actually. Yeah, they're like double what they were. That's 2 Switch 2 games that you could buy for 1 ticket. So decisions to be made. Actually, that's not even quite 2. That's 1 Switch 2 game that you could get instead of a ticket. Step 2, have the hand-eye coordination of a god. Also, this video is going to be kind of braggy. Generally, I don't like to bring up my own accomplishments. A lot of it is publicly available. Like, most of you guys know that I have the fastest 15% run in Angry Birds 2, that I'm top 1900 in New Donk City's RC minigame in Super Mario Odyssey, and like that I'm a 2 handicap in disc golf. Which is another reason I don't understand how I'm so bad at that dog frisbee game. All of those records are just out there, right? But my Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin high score is something I've held pretty close to my chest. But I feel like this is the time. It's been long enough, and the people should know. And also, I've been in talks with Summoning Salt about a potential documentary on this. I've sent him a couple emails, so as soon as he sees those and answers me back, then he'll make a video, and so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, step 2 is have the hand-eye coordination of a god. If you follow every other step that I give you, but you just don't have that natural gamer aura, then you're just not gonna cut it. Sorry. But like, no worries. I'm sure there's a short line at Dumbo or the Teacups. Step 3, be patient. Not during the ride, obviously. You need to be making like 500 inputs per minute. But before you get on the ride, there's going to be a long line. At any given time, about half of the total attendance at Disney World will be at Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin. And once you get in the line, there's going to be a lot of flashing lights and noises, and a Buzz Lightyear animatronic guy that looks like Slenderman half the time because of the lighting and the angle on his LED screen face. These things are here by design to distract you, to leave you mentally fatigued before you even get on the ride. I've seen some of the top competitors combat this in different ways. I've seen earplugs, I've seen face masks. Personally, I would recommend trying meditation to have a clear mind before you begin. If you're lucky, like me, you might just find yourself somewhere in that line. Step 4 is plan, strategize, and obsess. I'm filming this step outside so that you get one last good look at sunlight, because for the next 4 months you need to be behind a desktop, curtains drawn, locked in. If you want to get a good high score, there's a plethora of YouTube videos that will cover what I would call the fundamentals of BLSRS. And yeah, your average Joe should be able to watch those and get a good high score, maybe even get a Galactic Hero rank. Also, we're out here for another reason. Look at this. Boom, look at this. Boom. So that's going to be tips like, yeah, I'm back inside. That was scary out there. Tips like aim for the inside of the Boxobot's left arm in the beginning of the ride. Make sure that you stabilize your spaceship at the right times. Make sure you get on the left side of your spaceship in the beginning. Stuff most of you guys probably knew before even watching this video. But if you want to go plus ultra like me, if you want to go to infinity and beyond, if you will, then you need to understand the mechanics. You need to plot out your route. You need to know the design layout. You need to run simulations. You need to know if the chief engineer was left-handed or right-handed. Because pro tip, you're going to want to get the blaster on the right side. Remember when I just said get on the left side of the ride? I lied. That was common misinformation that got spread around a lot in 2010. Cost some friends of mine some big runs. But go right side. Just trust me on that. I ended up putting a man in the hospital on one of my early runs because he wouldn't get out of the right seat. It wasn't a man, it was a small child. He got an infection while he was in the hospital. He didn't end up making it. Step 5 is have fun. Some of my best memories are on that ride, and really if you're relaxed and you're enjoying yourself, then you won't be tense and you'll be more likely to execute your game plan. If you made it to this far in the video, congratulations. Not only did you make it to the point where I don't have any more info or research or script to go off of, but it also means that you're serious about this. And I appreciate that. Being the intelligent, observant contenders that you are, you might have noticed in this picture that I either put in the thumbnail or at some point earlier in the video, you might have looked at that and said, what is that title right there? Star Cadet. Isn't that the worst classification you can get on the ride? That is true. Good eye. Here's where my high score defies the norm. It was an early morning run, maybe the third of the day. I was still fresh. I'd been stretching, been meditating, and it was one of those times where everything came together. I was in a flow state. I could see the targets behind me. I could close my eyes and I was just lighting it up. So I didn't know what was going on. You could imagine my confusion when I see my rank at the end. You know, I'd been keeping up with my score throughout. And before I could even ask anybody, I had 3 different cast members come over and tell me that essentially I had reached the kill screen for the game. The ride keeps up with your score past the 999,909 theoretical limit, and once you overlap that a certain number of times, for me it was 4. They estimated I was in the around 4.5 million score range. Once you get past that, it overlaps. It sends you back into the classifications. So everything after that was a bit of a blur that day. Shook a lot of hands, met a lot of high ups. Ultimately, I decided to keep the record private, other than a couple of friends and family members. I wasn't doing it for anybody, I was doing it for me. And you might be wondering as well, this video, you know, I've been giving steps to do what I did, so it could happen, right? Hypothetically, yes, if you went all out and followed all of my steps. But up until this point, no one has. I gave my number to the lady that was running the ride and told her to text me, let me know, reach out anytime she ever saw anything like that again, and never got any response from her. So, in August of this year, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin will close temporarily for some refurbishments and big upgrades to the blasters and the ride itself. So while it is bittersweet to see the game that I know as it was going away, I'm excited for the updates, and that leaves everybody a few months to beat my high score. Guys, thanks for watching this far. If you like flying cars, then check out my last video. You'll be one of like 10 people who watched it. So that could be exciting, right? To be on the frontier of YouTube content.